Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the Kung Fu Cup, the KFC, week number 10. Your weekly dose of Kung Fu Cup action. I'm of course just VIP with you. I'm joined by these amazing players and by the Bill in chat as well. Welcome one and all to a weekly tournament. Again, this tournament is an open cup organized and run by SC Boy, by the Chinese scene and the Chinese community. It does run on a regular basis. Unfortunately, this event is not on the PTR, at least not this week. Hopefully in the future we will see, as we have had a mixture of some PTR events and some live game events throughout the course of the past 2 weeks. This is a live game event, bear that in mind, not a PTR tournament. Typically, if an event is on the PTR or on the TLMC 22 map pool, then we will be signifying that in the title of the stream. Otherwise, let's jump in. Let us jump on in. We have our first series here. It's going to be a TvP between Clem and Classic. Let's go, bro. Let's jump on in. Game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. Jumping on our first series here. For those that are curious, this is a quarterfinals match. They're meeting in the round of 8. Bearing in mind that SC Boy, they do not see their tournaments, so events like this, also matchups like this, can happen early in the tournament. Round of 32, round of 16, early on. That's when things can pop off, and we are popping off. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. So let us go. We're jumping to our first series here. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a smaller map in the map pool. Smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is, of course, favored on Ruby Rock. And how aggressive are we going to be here? Eyes are on Clem. Typically, when it comes to the current meta of TvP, the Terran player is the aggressor, the Protoss is the defender. And we often do see a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins, a lot of committed move-outs, committed builds here out of Terran. And there's quite a wide array of that as well. So we'll see how exactly we open up. So far, economic opener, single gas start out of Clem, going for a Rax expand. From here, of course, we'll keep an eye on the mid game, we'll keep an eye on the tech of choice and the follow-up, whether we go into a faster 3rd CC or not. Typically, faster 3rd CC builds are reserved for larger maps instead. Think of Winter Madness, think of even Taito Citadel, for example. For now, though, we're just easing away into the early game. Let's go. Let's go. Likewise, across the map, we have Classic just going for his own gates, Cyber expand as well. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. I will say that Classic, he does like to vary up his builds from time to time. He's not as intense and not as diverse as Hero, for example, but still, you know, does keep up the pressure and can mix in, say, a Stargate opener or extra gateways, something more committed, 4-gate blink, for example. He does mix it up from time to time. Let's go. For now, we're calming down, getting to our openers. So far, just scouting each other. Classic does, of course, confirm the Rax expand and does get eyes on the CC timing, so he does poke in, is aware, does pull away. Oh, Jesus. Oh my god. As bienvenidos, everyone in the chat. Bienvenidos, bienvenidos. As this is our second broadcast of the day. We were live a couple of hours ago with Pegasus Cup, so it's been an intense day of StarCraft. It's been very, very intense. I think we had like a 3 or 4 hour break in between the last cast and this one, so was able to grab a bite to eat, was able to freshen up a little bit, and then bam, back to casting. That's how we do, baby. It's how we do. As now it is going to be that Twilight Council opener out of Classic. Standard tech of choice here, going to blink. The real question becomes, how many gates? How many gates? When do we get our robot as well? How greedy is Classic going to be? Reaper does poke in, and we'll be able to get a probe kill. Not bad. One worker does go down. Gets a probe, pulls away. And up. Does thread another dive. Is aware of the tech of choice, of course, and it doesn't not go. Oh, there we go. Does juke that out, the jinx. Trying to avoid the stalker, of course, but eventually we'll be hunted down and will fall. Behind this is no major gateway explosion yet. We do see the 1-1-1 follow-up out of Clem going for, well, we can set up for an add-on swap here. I was gonna say we can open up, say, Widowmine drop or Reactor Reaper Hellion or at least Cyclone, but no add-on swap here into Banshee play or into earlier Raven. We'll see what Clem goes for. It is gonna be Cloak Banshee. Okay, something a little bit more committed. more committed here, a little bit more devoted. We'll see what Clem can achieve with this. If we fail to do damage, then Clem is going to fall a little bit behind, as this is a very big commitment here from Clem going into Cloak Banshee. Behind this, Classic does throw down extra gateways. He's got 1 gate in the main. He's got 2 more at the natural. It is going to be 3 gate blink out of Classic, a very safe build alongside of Robo as well. So a very safe play here. Because of the earlier Robo, this means there will be detection. There will be observers. Now, the first observer is typically sent across the map. The second observer is usually back at home. So there are going to be multiple observers ideally. Oh, actually, we go Prism first. Never mind. Okay. Going Prism first. It should be Prism into Observer, but regardless, Classic plans on being aggressive early on being assertive. Remember, this is not overly aggressive. This is not 4 gate blink, for example. It's just 3 gateways, 3 gate blink. And Classic will be looking for an opening. Banshees are moving out. Cloak is almost done. Third base not being taken. Hellion gets caught out. And Clem, he's aware of these stalkers being active on the map. This also means that there won't be any stalkers that defend back at home, or minimal stalkers, as we have 2 stalkers inside the main. Okay, dropping 4 in towards the main base of Clem. Tank is in position. Enemy Banshees, they do reveal themselves, getting 1 probe kill so far. Gets 1, gets 2. Get 1, 2 probe kills at the same time. Banshees, they dive into the main base, but ooh, there's plenty to defend. Tanks and Banshees in position. Clem holds. Clem holds back at home. Meanwhile, across the map, 6 probes go down. We'll lose the Banshee, but 6 workers, that is not bad at all. Not a bad trade here for Clem, and he's not done. There is a second Banshee. Second Banshee, for now, is skirting around the edge of the map, already sustaining some hull damage, though, which is less than ideal, but we'll see if we can maybe find some more damage. Remember, Classic, he was just being aggressive. He knows that there is a second Banshee. He's aware. Yeah, he's aware. Oh, the Prism taking a lot of hits. A lot of hits, a lot of damage. I'll speak of a couple of Marines here, so an okay trade for Classic, where the Prism is very low. Slow. Observer in position. Ready here at the third. And the Banshee is deflected. So far, so good. We deflect the Banshee. Likewise, we do threaten a dive. I mean, upgrades are still on the way. 2 tanks in the main. There's no way to push in. No shot. Clem is looking very secure. Very, very secure. Behind this is not all in. Is going for a 3rd CC. Once he can build up his upgrades and get into Stim and Combat Shields, he can start to be active. He can start to push out across the map and start defending Classic. But now, though, Clem, he's in a solid position. The Banshee across the map is still alive. He was able to deal all that damage, and he can still threaten Classic. Behind this, Classic working towards Colossus, not Storm. During the Colossi, +1, extend the lands, building up on 3 bases, and soon claiming a 4th base as well. So Classic just building up into the mid game. We're just waiting here for the main push from Clem. But now he breaks free from his natural. Does break free. Prism threatening its own counterattack. Does run a dive. A charge is done. Now we're still building up. Ooh, Prism gets shut down. Very nice defense here by Clem. Shuts down the Prism. Banshee gets away. 4th base gets spotted, and this should be the target for Clem. Now we're still waiting for reinforcements. Disruptor production has begun, going into a very fast second Robo. So double Robo, double Disruptor production. Because of this tech choice here from Classic, it does mean that the gateway composition is still very light for our Protoss player. Just because we're going into more disruptors, it's quite a big risk here. And considering the size of the map, it's actually very, very risky. What I mean by that, Ruby Rock is a very small map, short rush distance by ground. When Clem does decide to push, it's going to hit real hard and real fast. I guess Classic, he is behind because of all the economic damage done earlier, so he feels the need to cut corners here, and we'll see if he gets away with it. He's got his one disruptor so far. Dark Shrine is on the way. That can help. That can work. Classic is still posturing. Does find the Banshee. She goes down. Catching up the Banshee. Opening up the map. Building up more disruptors. I mean, hey, that Nova cannon is going to get quite high. Clem is already maxed. And it comes down to the Novas. Classic, can he connect? As Clem is snowballing out of control. He should soon be pushing. As he moves out, it looks like Classic getting ready for a base trade. The Observer is on the main attack path. And he's waiting for Classic. Sorry, he's waiting for Clem to push. Oh. Clem's army gets spotted. Scans. Does spot the main army. Does spot the disruptors. Nova goes up. Ooh, massive connection. Gets one. Yeah, one Nova lands. The other does graze the army. We have one Nova still not quite with the main army. And Disruptor's going to go down. Yeah, he's going to catch the Disruptors. A Colossus. Massive pickups. Heavy losses for Classic. At the same time, we do see a bit of a backstab. Zealous get across the map. We do have the pylon across the map as well. But there's not really much threatening here. There just was not enough. Yeah, the Prism went down. The War Prism did go down trying to harass. Base is denied, and Clem, he can just keep pushing. He can take this Nova to the face, he'll be fine. It was a good Nova, but he can just take it to the face. Oh my god. Second Nova doesn't connect. Colossus goes down, and Clem, he can just stim and win. He can stim, and he can win. He will not be stopped. We do see a massive warping of Zealots. One Disruptor left. There's one Disruptor, Pappy. Never goes off. Does not connect. Yeah, nice target firing out of Clem, and does focus on the Disruptor, and with that Clem, he sims on through, breaks the main army, pushing into the mineral line. At the same time, he will lose every single SCV across the map. 29 SCVs going down, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, the economy is crippled, but Clem still has a superior main army. Still has a lot to work with. Breaks the third, pushing over towards the fifth. And he will find another Nexus. Another base goes down. And base trade is the best chance here for Classic. Classic, he knows he cannot fight the main army. He has to avoid it. He goes to the counterattack instead. Back at home, there's one Ghost to defend, and mainly Marines and Marauders. At Classic, he can take this. He can take it. He just keeps swerving in, pushing towards the natural. Does get a mineral line, and Clem turns around. Ooh, he does turn back around. He's racing back home. Ta-da! And Classic losing a Disruptor. Pulls further away. Meanwhile, Classic getting a ninja base. Double expanding even. Bold move. Clem is aware of the Nexus due to the Widow Mine, thankfully. He's aware. DT waddles in. Scan on the main army. There are no scans. No shot. No scans. He just scanned in the center of the map with that. Okay, he has APs. He has EMPs. He should be okay. I mean, he's still losing a lot of workers. This is distracting Clem, more importantly. He's completely distracted. Coming all the way back to his main. Classic slowly recovering. Getting back into Disruptors. We're getting rowdy. We're getting messy, Pat. We're getting messy. Oh. Classic blinks in. Catching at the CC. Nice pick off. Kills the command center. Pulls away. Bleeds out like 1, 2 Zealots. There's another DT in the natural. More Dark Templar warping in. It's Clem. Again, Clem, he was at what? 40, 50, 60 supply? Like he was... He had so much to work with. But in one fell swoop, Classic with the counterattack, Nova goes off. Decent connection. Oh, second Nova not so much. Yeah, nice splits out of Clem. Very nice splits. He splits, he avoids damage. At the same time, going for a triple drop across the map. He will get the mineral line. We go for the recall. Ooh. Does recall back home. Classic's army is split. From here, he's split up. once again zoning back to Clem. Does send him away. And Classic suddenly, I mean, especially because of the double expand, thankfully, Classic, he's built back up. He has a solid economy. He's up by 20 workers. He's building up a larger army as well. It's a very cheap army. It's very gateway heavy. Very gateway heavy. But Classic, he's back in this. He's in this game. We'll lose the base. And I believe Recall is still on cooldown. Yeah, still on cooldown. At the same time, Clem throws away 2 full medevacs. 1 medevac left. There's a defensive warp in. 3 full medevacs go down. Heavy losses for Clem. Oh. Yeah, heavy losses. That's going to be the second Nova. There's 1 Nova left. Final Nova. Oh. Catching more Marines. And Classic is overwhelming. Classic is just overwhelming here. DTs hit the third base once again, and Prism into the main base, going for extra warp ins, more damage being done. Clem, he has nothing behind this, he has nothing to sustain himself. He has no economy, down to 35 SCVs, again, barely an economy. Ay, ay, ay. Clem turns back around. Classic ready for another backstab. God, these DCs have been so annoying. He gets a tank. Gets 1. Almost 2. 1.5 tanks go down. Ay, ay, ay. Clem as he pushes. Classic, he counterattacks. He goes to the backstab. Just picking Clem apart. Oof. Yeah, another Nova connects. Another goes off. Okay, and Clem just cannot sustain this. At the same time, another army moves in, headed for the third. Ooh. There was a buy time. Okay, buy time, free tank, free liberators as well. He just doesn't have the supply. Doesn't have it. More SCVs going down. And Clem does backstab, and he does find a Nexus. Does get some counter damage done at least. But it still pales in comparison. It pales in comparison. Clem, did he ever scout bottom left? He did not. This base is fully operational as well. Clem has no idea. The ninja base paid off, papi. True. It paid off. As at this point, Clem, he's probably going to have to float over his main base, float over his natural, just to try to stay in this game. He may come across bottom left. Again, he still doesn't know. No sabe, papi, no sabe. Oh. Yeah, this ghost hitting core 1, 2 ghosts going down, 3, all 3 ghosts fall. Not like this. Down to 1? Yeah, 1 ghost left. Classic giving chase, diving in, and just punishing Clem. Nice around, nice flank. And Clem, he will trade as efficiently as possible. He does get a Colossus, but oh god, the Novas. Oh no. The Novas, they keep connecting. Not like this. And again, that was still technically a better trade for Clem. Clem, he reset the Disruptor count, he reset the Colossus count. He just broke. GG gets called, and Classic will take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very impressive comeback at a Classic, winding it back. Remember, Classic, he was down and out. Like Classic, he lost a lot of workers to the Banshees. We saw Clem successfully building up on 2 bases, claiming his 3rd base as well. And Clem, he was the first to max out. Again, he was up, what, 40, 50 supply? Like, Clem had a very comfortable lead, and he pushed across the map. And the reality is that Clem had an ideal army that could not be dealt with. Classic, he could not fight Clem. So what did he do? Base trade. Essentially went for a base trade, went for a massive counterattack, and he crippled the economy of Clem. He killed every worker at the 3rd base, catching reinforcements as well, going into DTs thereafter, going into War Prism harass as well. And even though Clem could win in these head-on fights and was killing bases, he couldn't actually find the army, couldn't engage the way that he wanted to. It was just being backstabbed time and time again, forced back home, and eventually Clem was torn apart. GG. GG all played. Very impressive recovery there by Classic, as things were looking very, very dire there for Classic. Very, very dire. Things were looking rough. But recovered, bounced back, dealt critical economic damage across the map, and eventually just wore Clem down. And now we're getting to game number 2. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro, leading the series 1-0. It is Classic. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Let's go. Let us go. As again, Clem, that's one of those frustrating games as well, where you know that you're ahead, you know you're winning the game, you know that you should win this game, and then through just sheer annoyance with like all these counterattacks and run-bys and just all this chaos happening back at home, when you just want to fight head on, and the game slips away. The game, it just slips through your fingers, and with that, you're down in the series, bearing in mind that this is a best of 3 quarterfinals match as well. So earlier in the tournament, we'll see if Clem can recover and bring us to the ace match. We're now loading into a larger map, and typically it sees larger maps where Protoss are more favored. As we mentioned in the beginning of game 1, typically in this matchup, Terran players, they want to be aggressive. They want to be assertive, they want to be in your face, and they want to be knocking you down. It's difficult to achieve that on these larger maps. Not impossible, but difficult. Now, there is a build that Cure and Clem have been going for as of late, which is like an earlier kind of like offbeat tank push that does hit the third quite early on, actually, and quite committed. I'm curious if we see something like that at a Clem here as well, where we don't play for the late game, but we do hit a very strong timing early on 3 bases. We'll see. We shall see. I said on 3 bases. I believe it's a move out on 2 bases with the third CC behind it. So by Clem just going for his economic opener, Racks expand. Classic once again does confirm with his probe scouts. Is aware the build of choice or the opener of choice back at home. Standard opener at a Classic as well. Everything looking as it should. We see Clem scouting on the right hand side. I mean, it's not unlikely, not uncommon to see proxy gateways or proxy Stargate play as well. I'm just being safe. Plays a save. Twilight Council opener once again. This time it's hidden behind the main base for a Classic. Interesting. It does hide his third, or it does hide his tech. Reaper does break in, getting 1 probe kill so far, just the 1, before being zoned away. Now, last game, Clem did open up a Cloak Banshee, and honestly, it was worth it, right? The Cloak Banshees, they did a lot of damage, they kept Classic busy as well. It's one of the reasons why the early to mid game was so clean and so in control for Clem. So smooth, that's what I'm looking for. So smooth. I can't imagine we'll see that 2 games in a row though, so we'll see what Clem goes for this time. Once again, a 1-1-1. Tech Lab is on the way. We're ready for potentially another add-on swap here. We'll see if Clem does go Cloak Banshee again or into something different. Do we leave the Tech Lab on the factory? As it is going to be chased down. Meanwhile, we are going for the add-on swap. Tech Lab on the starport. Opening up Raven, not Cloak Banshee this time. Meanwhile, Classic going for the same build. 2 more gates on the way, 1 already done, 3 gate blink out of Classic with the Robo in production as well. So it's getting his Robo, 3 gateways. Same opener, 2 games in a row. Oh, now I have to eat my words. That is a 4th gateway, Pappy. Okay. Looking to catch Clem off guard. As we mentioned before, usually it's the Terran player being the aggressor, but no, Classic on a larger map is going to be aggressive instead. Going for Gate Blink Stalker, hyper aggression out of Classic. We'll see what he can get done. We'll see if he can break the defensive line of Clem. As the War Prism is on the way. Now, bearing in mind, this is not an all-in. We should emphasize that. This is very aggressive. This is very committed. This is all true. But you do typically expand behind it. You are just at least looking for a minimal amount of damage. You need a minimum amount of damage. Otherwise, you will fall behind because you're delaying your expansion. You're delaying your tech. You're delaying your upgrades. You're delaying quite a bit in favor of the commitment into all these Stalkers. Here we go. Classic getting some spotted pylons here on the top side to make sure he does spot a Banshee. Raven does move in, or any kind of air unit. Already this Raven just tying up some supply, tying up these Stalkers. Classic moves out, setting it for his third. And back at home we have Clem with double tanks in the main. Does mean that there's no tank here at the natural, but he has double bunker as well. Oh my god, very good read here by Clem. He didn't see all the gateways, but double bunker and double tank at Clem is looking very secure. I will say there is an opening here on the right hand side because no, there's plenty of Marines. I was going to say that there's not really enough to fill up these bunkers, but there we go. One bunker goes down. There we have another. Yeah, the other will buy some time. Master repair on the bunker. Bunker does fill up. We blink into the mate the tank, so oh my god. They have massive tank shots. Stalkers, they get punished. Marines that hold the line, and the add-ons are safe. Yeah, the add-ons are safe. This is not worth it for Classic. He's going to double down. He's going for another warp in. He needs to find some damage here. He's desperate. Desperate for damage, but he does not get in. Ooh, does recall back home. And will not get the Raven. So Clem so far, solid defense. Very, very nice defense. Deals damage across the map, distracts Classic, defends back at home, minimal losses, didn't lose any SCVs or add-ons. Lost a bunker. So bunker, a couple of Marines. Solid defense here by Clem. Behind this, third CC is on the way, and we're building up into the mid game. We can see Classic being as proactive as possible. He's moving out once again. As I mentioned before, like he invested into all these Stalkers, you gotta make use of them. As the warp-ins continue. Oh my god, okay. Warping in some slow lots. Oh, Clem, he does start to move out. Does go for the mass on siege. Clem out of position. Uh-oh. Yeah, Clem moves out. Classic moves in, gets a medevac, gets two. Yeah, two medevacs going down. They go for the add-ons as well. Do we get a tank? Ooh, we do push forward. Catching out a Marauder. Not quite the tank though. But a decent catch here from Classic. Getting two Marauders, a Widowmine, two medevacs as well. Delaying the push. Very nice damage. This is making up for his earlier start. Helping make up for it. Prison does move in. Clem is aware. Oh, yeah, Clem's in position, denying the warp in. Yeah, does deny the warp in. Behind this warping an extra High Templar. Storm is not done. It's still a very tense game state. I would still say that Classic is still behind. The biggest issue for Classic is his fourth. His fourth base is very late. It should already be done by now. It should be saturated. It should be being saturated as we speak. But it's very delayed. So economically, Clem is ahead. And because Clem still has a greater economy, that translates into now soon to be the larger army as well. That's why you can see the supply now, kind of the supply disparity getting larger and larger. Clem taking a lead. Picking out. Oh. This one gets two Widowmines, nice pickups. Storm coming in, but I feel like it's a bit of a waste of a storm. I'll be honest. And aerial damage. Ooh. Yes, the prism looks for a way in. Widowmines are in position. The mines are ready. I'm concerned that Classic believes that there's only one mine here. Speaking of, it does blink away. It does blink away. Cleans up the mines. I think lost one Stalker, which is fine. And again, Classic, he's trying to stabilize here, rushing into his 4th base, rushing into a 5th base thereafter as well. Again, we spoke about it earlier, but Classic's economy is heavily delayed, so he has some catching up to do. Meanwhile, Clem will be the first to really move out. For now, he's still waiting for more Liberators, more Ghost production. He's making 3 Ghosts at a time, a 2nd Starport for extra Liberators. And soon, Clem can start to move out. Once he does, I feel like once again it's going to be on Classic to get ready for a backstab, as he's taking both center bases, prioritizing both high yield gas geysers as well. Classic is setting up for that backstab. Clem still almost maxed. Getting up to soon to be 200 supply. Storm, it does soften up part of the army. No shot we try to commit. I mean, that is a lot of storms, but not easy to move into. Yeah, storm's coming in. Decent storm here on the Ghost. And we have how many High Templar? 10. Okay, we got a lot of storms. Down to 8. Prism does go down. Denies the warp in. Very nice. Nice pick up that Clem. Preserves his army. Classic trying to commit. Short CPs. Even the Colossus, not the High Templar. Yeah, still plenty of Templar. Storm does make an opening. Another storm lands. Then another. Classic still reinforcing. Down to 6 High Templar. Once again committing up the ramp. Colossus is going to be going down. Vikings are in position. They should punish. They shouldn't, they will. That's going to be both Colossus falling. And there aren't that many Zealots here. There's not much on the ground. Yeah, storms, they still graze the army, but nice spread here by Clem. He spreads well. Yeah, spreads well, slims in. He gets High Templar, gets 1, gets 2. 2, 3, 4 Templar going down. There's 2 Templar left, and there's nothing remaining. There's nothing remaining here for Classic. Classic, he just rams his head up the ramp, and he will lose everything in the process. Ay, ay, ay. Again, Classic, he overcommitted, and he had map control. He had all these bases. He did not have to commit that hard. He saw an opening when there wasn't one. And with that, bases are going to start going down. They're going to start going down. Losing center expansion. Classic going for the counterattack. Back at home with Clem. He is amassing his reinforcements. Thankfully, he's not rallying. And he's ready back at home. The Zealots. Base falls. And Clem will soon max. We're just waiting for the remax here. Storms, once again, they zone away the army. They mainly zone. And soon Clem can start to push out. I'm a little bit concerned that he's going to give Classic a little bit too much time. Again, Clem, he's up, what, 60 supply? He's maxed. Now would be the time to push. Clem obviously doesn't know how far ahead he is and just how little Classic has remaining, but thankfully does push. It's being active. And looking for the main army. Pushing towards a base that has not been rebuilt.
Mineral field depleted.
So this is giving Classic a lot of time here to rebuild. Now recovering 20 supply. Closing that gap. So now splits the main army and the base. Moving in. Gets a free Colossus. Oh, barely not. I guess a free Templar. Takes down a Templar. Forces out some Storms. Vikings, they move in. He wants that Colossus. We have 6 Templar. And we can see Classic working on his Skytoss transition. Second Stargate, +1 air attack, working towards Tempest. Not there yet, but he's thinking about it. He's at least preparing. So Classic has remaxed. Typically, there's no need to start working towards Tempest production until the Liberator count gets too high. So right now we have 2 Liberators, Liberator range is on the way, and we have a 3rd Liberator in production with extra starports. Once it gets high enough, then we will need Tempest. Until then, though, Classic can still make a ground army work. Oof. Using a Templar. There's a Templar. Classic taking every remaining base on the map. Taking the base is one thing, but he will have to saturate as we recall. Interesting. Recalls to the right. Classic is more or less, sorry, Clem more or less ready. That's EMP. Let me rotate in time, catching out a couple of free Stalkers. Classic does not find a way in. Jesus, getting 3 more Stargates in the fleet beacon. I think that's 5 Stargates in total, if I'm not mistaken. 4. Okay, 4 Stargates. It's a another cancel. Nice pick up ahead of Clem. The issue here at this point is that Classy just cannot engage with the main army. The quality is just too good. Another base will go down. This is maybe best case scenario for Classic, is to fight Clem a portion of the army at a time. So he comes in for the flank. Show us the storms. Oh, ooh. Medivacs, they barely get away. Medivacs, they pull out. Clem, he responds. He's racing on over. Oh, where are the storms? Oh no, storms, massive EMPs. And without storms, we cannot fight. Not like this. Colossus are going to be going down one after the other. Now we have a flanking storm near the end. There's not enough energy. Not enough energy. None the Templar. 0 storms. Oof. Yeah, there's 1 Templar left on the map. It's on the top right. 0 storms to the main army. Could not zone the main army away. Carrier? Oh, god. I mean, Classic's broke. Classic is broke. He does have a 5k mineral bank. He doesn't have any gas. He has no gas to work with. And what does it take to go for a Skytoss transition? Gas. Takes a lot of gas to get into anything Skytoss related. Classic does need those gases. Once again, trying to rotate in. Clem's keeping up, takes down the center base. Take down another expansion. And Classic is distracting, but once again, Classic just cannot win any kind of main fight. He does not have enough. And he is going mass carrier. Oh. So, a mass carrier can work if there's not much anti-air. Like, what's the anti-air looking like here? We have 15 Marines, 6 Vikings, 11 Ghosts. It's still going to be difficult to make work here. But there is a world if your opponent's a little bit too Marauder heavy where you can kind of hit a timing with mass carrier. Carriers, obviously, they're not as efficient as Tempest. They do not scale well as well. but they do provide a big power spike, and they can give you like one strong push. Oof. That's another Colossus falls. I'm just trading hyper efficiently. Scan into the main base, gets eyes on all the Stargates. Hasn't seen the carriers yet, I believe. They're here on the right hand side. He's not fully aware. Can nuke on the fresh mining base. Classy, does he notice? He does. Does notice, does pull away. Carriers are revealed. Now we gotta go. He gets one, he gets two. Nice Wiggles. Does catch two Liberators. Clem has to race back home. Second army is racing over as well. This is Classic's moment. This is it. Gets a third. Takes down the third base. Oof. Brutal pick up on the Archon. 7 Templar. And Storms to pull away. Yeah, Storms to get the hell out of here. As it does pull out, so losing another Templar. Oh God, we're just getting free damage. That's gonna be another Templar going down. Oh my God, the Ghost. Ah, he gets another Templar. There's no detection, by the way. There's no detection. Observer production is still underway. That one Ghost, he was crazy. Killed 2 White Templar. Ay, ay, ay. Clem's pushing in top right. He's trying to move in. Not the most efficient trade here, trading gas for cannons. Pulls away. Yeah, Liberation has arrived. Go for the Mass Cloak. Cannon push up the ramp. Yeah, Classic cannon move in. Clem giving chase. He wants that mothership. Oh my God, mothership goes down, carriers are exposed. We were talking about this earlier, carriers, they don't really scale well, and they're all going to go down, losing every single carrier. Expensive losses here for Classic, and we're rebuilding the carriers? Oh God. Does rebuild. Oh. Again, personally at least, I feel like carriers, they have a really good like surprise factor initially, but committing into more of them is a bold move. Classic does take notice. Does notice the nuke. Going for his own counterattack. Does break down one of the planetaries, but the mining is still ongoing here. And Clemmy breaks through. Clemmy gets another expansion. Nexus goes down. Nice pickup. Recall's on cooldown. So no recall to save this space. Recall once again. Classic burning through his gas bank. Going mass carrier Colossus. Bold move. Technically there is potential, especially with the High Templar, I suppose. The issue with carry Colossus like this is, I mean, we should have a high enough Viking out to deal with this. We have 17 Vikings. Jesus. 5 more academies on the way, going to mass nuke. A Viking Liberator Ghost is all that Clem needs. That's what the main army. And he's rotating over. And he's got his 17 Vikings. The mothership was rebuilt. Now meeting up with everything else. Clem does find a carrier. He gets one. And one carrier goes down. The mothership as well. Jesus. The Vikings, they just bully the carriers. Second carrier falls. Third carrier as well. They get 2 shots. Getting a 4th, 5th, and 6th carrier. And with that, Clem just snowballs out of control. He breaks through the main army. Takes out everything in the sky. Jeez. So we're just layering nukes. Okay. God damn it. This guy even just killing his own ghosts. The mule hammer, pappy. Ay, ay, ay. Because he can. Este Clem. He does. Oh, does save his base, catching up more zealots. Again, Classic just doesn't really have. Classic's still committing here to Colossus carrier. Ready to see that again. I mean, it's one of those things where at this stage of the game, Clem does have the perfect army, right? Like what can you do? So goes Viking Liberator. For those who are curious, when it comes to late game TvP, like Terran players are favored. Just before that, I'm sure you've seen it before, but when the Protoss player has map control, when the Terran player has a low base count, it's a different story. It's the Protoss player just hammering away, just wave after wave of zealots and just denying them. But if the Terran player can get into an equivalent economy like this, where they have all these bases, where they have all these resources, then like you build up into this, into mass goes Viking Lib. It's crazy, pappy. It's crazy. And let's find another base. Show them from both of them. I mean, I just said it. Like, Classic can't really build anything at this point. Like, there's, yeah. Like, well, what can he do? As the Vikings, they just go ham. They shut down the mothership. Mothership goes down. Nice pickups. Classic does get a base, but bleeds out so much supply. Oof. And catching out of the carrier. A little bit of messy engagement there by Clem, pushing into the Colossus. So a little bit messy, but he can afford to be messy here. He can afford it. So let me rotate over. Oof. Catching the High Templar. And Classic, he has no economy, right? He has no more bases. He lost his fringe expansions. Lost the fringe bases back. And with that, the final carriers are going to go down. Vikings, a pop up. More carriers, no more Colossus. Ghost, a cloak. And GG. GG gets called. Clem ties up the series 1-1. We are getting into the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Clem does tie up the series. Again, Clem, he was able to build up into that perfect Terran army where it's quite rare to get to that stage, but once the Terran player can break out from their contain, take more bases, then they snowball out of control. I would say the Classic, he had a very shaky early to mid game. I mean, in general, we saw that Clem had a lead. Classic then recovered. This was partially because Clem was very passive and defensive. He wasn't really active in the first half of the game, so it allowed Classic to recover and to rebuild his bases after having a really rough start. If you remember, one of the big moments for Classic where everything fell apart was when he pushed up the ramp at the natural. He committed up the ramp, and he threw away all the Colossus, the the Templar as well. This was pre-carrier, if you remember. It was pre-carrier. He committed up the ramp. He lost everything. Then he was reset. He had to rebuild from almost nothing. There was nothing pressuring Classic at the time either. Remember, Classic, he had both center high yield bases as well, but he just committed. He committed up the ramp. He overextended, lost everything, was overconfident, and then everything just fell apart. It all fell apart from there. GG all played. With that, we're now getting into our next game. Going to be loading into the ace match. Getting into 10,000 feet. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player. We have the French Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. As we are getting into the ace match here, again, we got to experience the hyper late game on Winter Madness, but now we're going to be loading into 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is a smaller map of the map pool, shorter rush distance by ground, but very defendable. Your natural, your third, your fourth base are very close together, very tight-knit, shorter distance between them, so it's easier for defensive rotations. As a result, it is much more difficult to try to break a turtling player here, and we'll see who that favors. We'll see how our players will approach this. Once again, there are certain units that can be favored on a map like this due to the terrain. I'm thinking Tempest. They can do a great job just sieging away at these center expansions and poking towards those fringe bases. If we get to that stage of the game, though, if we get there. Oh. But it feels like Classic, he knew that he was far enough behind where he just kept making carries anyway, just because like it was almost a lost cause. We'll see if he does come into carrier again if we get to that game stage, or if we do go Tempest. Regardless, gonna be opening up single gas opener out of Clem, going ranks expand. CC looking to be on the high ground. Yeah, high ground CC just to be safe. Classic does confirm. You saw that Clem was trying to catch the probe. Wasn't quite able to. Classic pulls away. Yeah, Classic does pull away. And behind this, we'll see if we open up Blink once again. If you recall, so winding all the way back, sorry, there was so much that happened last game. It all began with 4-gate Blink. It all began with 4-gate Blink Stalker, and that's how Classic fell behind initially, if you recall, where the 4-gate Blink was not worth it. This time, we'll see if we commit into a smaller gate counts, especially on 10,000 feet. I feel like lower gate counts are a little bit more common to go like 2-gate Blink into a third. We'll see. As Classic has been quite aggressive this series so far, early on. Game 1, 3-gate Blink into a rope, into a War Prism. Game 2, 4-gate Blink. Game 3, what's it going to be? From here we are just building up. Do have our 1-1-1 follow-up here into a standard follow-up actually for the first time with a mine drop. Going for the mine drop. Actually, do we only go with the singular mine? We do. So this could be a Bjorn and Maru-esque opener here, going for a single Widow Mine into Marine drop instead. The goal here typically is economic damage. Typically you want to save the Widow Mine drop, sorry, the Widow Mine itself, to zone away the Stalker, and then Marines, they focus on as many probes as possible. This was popularized by the Korean Terrans. This was like, what, a year ago, 2 years ago? This Clem does move out. And we'll see what we can get done. And again, you don't want to waste that first mine shot. Don't want to waste it. Helen Reaper distracting the Stalkers on the right-hand side, dragging them out of position. As Stalkers are dragged out, Widow Mine drop moves in. And Clem once again tries to make his way to the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. What am I does borrow? And we do get 3 probe kills so far. Not bad. 3, 4 probes. Walking into the main base. What am I does run away? No. Oh, doesn't get baited. There's recon to the main. Marines, they pull back down. Oh, and he does waste the shots. And we have to pull out. Yeah, we have to pull out. We have to get the hell out of here. Despite that, nice damage. 5 probes. 5 probes, and the drop pulls away. Escapes with the Marines, escapes with the Wooden Mine as well. Minimal losses here for Clem. Did lose his Reaper Hellion earlier, but this was worth it. As long as we get home. You can see Classic attempt to intercept. Clem does pull out. Behind this building up at the stim. Oh. So Raven is going to be zoned away. And from here, Clem's just going to be waiting until his upgrades kick in. Stim, combat shields. This time it's going to be a Colossus follow-up here. We're not rushing into Storm like previously. Going for the Robo, into the Bay, into Colossus. Into a Robo follow-up. And now we can calm down. Now we can breathe. From here, we're still waiting for a 3rd command center out of Clem to signify that we're going to be expanding behind this and building into the mid-game. eBay's on the way. This confirms that we should be going for a later game state as we're getting a longer upgrade. +1 has begun. And here comes Clem's initial move out. Does move out. There's a 3rd CC. Clem does expand. Dropping back into the main base. This is the original drop, by the way. Never got home. Oh my god, massive mine shell. 4 probes going down. Very nice damage. Yeah, solid damage here by Clem, getting 6 probes in the main. Clem pushes to the right hand side. And this is getting out of hand. 8 probe kills already, denying mining. Here comes the main army. Zelce try to collapse on top of the tank, but there are plenty of Marines, and Zelce just go down. Classic, he is falling apart. Can we get on top of the Colossus? It's close. Can he get it? Oh my god, barely not. Jesus. The Colossus lives. Survives, papi. Just barely. And Classic holds. Classic, he does hold on. Has been bleeding out a lot of units though, a lot of workers. And we need a counterattack. Classic is going to send it. Forcing Clem back. Cashing out all the Wooden Mines. Oh. Oof. Does catch both. Both mines go down. Clem being contained. And again, despite all the economic damage, it's the main army here that's in favor of Classic. Does have the larger main army, claiming a 4th. Clem used force relinquish map control, force back home. So Classic sets up the backstab. He sets up on the right hand side. And the game is going to calm down. We're calming down from here. Clem is going to be expanding. We spoke about this earlier, but this base is a little bit more exposed. Observer does confirm this. Classic Luna move in. Go Prism into the main base. Clem is out of position. SCVs are going to go down. Oh, now we move in. Plenty of Vikings over there. Plenty of Vikings. Colossus finally goes down. But Classic is trading well. Yeah, he's trading well here. Getting 1, getting 2 medevacs. Very nice. Does focus on the Marauders as well. Yeah, heavy losses there for Clem. Classic pulls away. Still 9 SCVs going down. We're still not quite done. Trading with the Marines. And Clem holds. Did I speak too soon? Oh my god. Jesus. Very nice trades out of Classic. So Clem does hold, does survive. But it was a messy defense here from Clem. And Classic double expanding. Getting his 4th, getting his 5th base. His probing, his saturating. Second Robo's on the way. This should be for Disruptor production. Likewise, Dark Shrine as well. This time we're not going Storm. Not this time. And this is where the higher Viking count is going to be a little bit less effective here. So far, there's only 2 Colossus, and we should soon be starting up those Disruptors. Should soon. Clem a little bit paranoid, dropping into his own main. I don't blame him. I blame him from earlier. More Disruptors building up. Classic so far recovering nicely. Thankfully, Clem, he does stop Viking production. He does stop at 8, so 8 Vikings. Now Liberators are on the way. They'll be that much more effective. And we'll see how defensive Clem is going to be here. In this specificity, we do see Classic taking more bases. Center base is now under control of Classic. This is getting a little bit out of hand as Classic is up to 88 workers. Up in probes, soon to be up in economy. Classic looking to surpass that supply. Colossus they try to poke in. And we do have those Vikings. Making 4 Liberators at a time. Ghost Academy as well. Again, Clem is perfecting his army. Meanwhile, Classic is maxing out. Once again, Classic, ideally, he does want to start trading soon. Start trading and throw away his Zealots and just keep rebuilding and keep trading. Minerals for gas. This is up to 4 Disruptors. Now moving in. Never grazing the army. Grazing 1 Marauder. Getting another. Crazy Blink. Oh my god. Yeah, Blinks in. Nice Nova. Punishing Clem. Have a bit of a back and forth. Yeah, a little bit. Classic pushing forward. Nice splits. Yeah, it does split well. Meanwhile, we blink in. Catching out one of the Vikings. Oof. Nova's a landing. Nova's a landing, Pat. We still got more Disruptors on the way. Likewise, Shadow Stride as well. Let's go. Getting into Blink DTs. Yeah, armies to react. Catching out one of the Liberators. Does get 1. Still 7 left. And the scary thing that's happening here is that, again, Clem is still contained. He's still contained on the lower base count. We see Classic taking now both center expansions. Only saturates 1 and only half saturation, so we could be seeing a prioritization of that here. Jesus. That's a lot of freedom zones. That's a lot of freedom. That's 1. Takes on 1 Liberator. Oh, missed rally here by Classic, throwing away 2 Disruptors. Nice catch out of Clem. Disruptors are thrown away. And Classic pushing in once again, an aggressive blink. Nova's to protect. And Clem secures the 4th base. Big moment for Clem. 4th base is getting up and running. Planetaries morphing in. And Classic still trading somewhat well, blinking forward once again. Oof. Catching out some Marauders. Starting back the army. We'll lose all the Colossus, that's fine. We're done with Colossus. And Clem being pulled apart here, losing so many more Liberators. 1, 2, 3 Liberators going down. Heavy losses for Clem. 9 SCVs as well. Yeah, Clem just out of position. We spoke earlier how typically on 10,000 feet it's easier to defend on 4 bases, but Clem, who was just hyper fixated on this. Yeah, the center base did slip his mind. And everything was made. And Classy just keeps moving in. Blinks forward, gets 1, gets 2 more Liberators. Making sure Clem does not hit critical mass. At one point we had 7, down to 1. Down to 1 Liberator. Classy just keeps warping in. Clem, he has no bank because he just has to keep rebuilding his Liberators, keep rebuilding his army. Cell collapse in. The Novas. No major connections. Yeah, no major connections, but we get into the mineral line here. 12 SCVs going down. Ay. So I say 12, getting up to 18. 18 SCV kills. A couple of mules. I say holding off. Now moving in once again. And no major connection. Disruptor gets squads. Ooh, but Double Prism does get in. Yeah, he busts into the main base. Zealous and DTs in the natural in the main base as well, going for a massive warp in. Clem is out of position. He's not ready for this. Okay, he just doesn't have the supply. Doesn't have the supply to defend. Being torn apart. Warpin's finished. 1 prism goes down. There's still 1 more left. Oof. Yeah, still 1 more left here, and everything's flashing red. Zealous in the main. Soldiers towards the 3rd base, and the main army towards the 4th. Can he get the 4th? Gets the final Liberator. Oof, bit of friendly fire. Yeah, a bit of friendly fire there. But does take down the Liberator. Classic throwing away some Stalkers. Again, still gets another 7 SCVs. And Clem can't keep up. Like, this is where, again, Classic has every base on the map. Almost every base. There's 1 left. Oh, no mas, papi, oh, no mas. Oh, do we have any scans? We should have an EMP. Okay. Oh god, he does land the EMP eventually. Again, because all the dead SCVs were muling very, very hard, so no scans. As one Nova does crazy army, once again distracting Clem. I mean, the DTs, they move in, they go for the planetary, and they will get it. Massive pickoff, planetary goes down. And Clem cannot stabilize. He cannot stabilize. Not anymore. It's not going to happen. Not with only 3 bases. Not with 44 SCVs. Classic moving in once again. Jumps into the main base. Potentially even catching at the academy. It is exposed. But now distracting Clem. There was a do not connect. Nice focus firing. Nice target firing at a Clem. Let's take a bit of fight. Oh, Classic, he wants that CC. Now, Clem, if he reacts fast enough, he can lift. Can save it. Ideally, the Classic does want to distract with the main army. I'm trying to stabilize. Prisms back into the main. Blinks in. He gets 1. He gets 2. He takes down both Liberators. Ooh, never connects. Yeah, Classic distracting, and we don't activate the Dark Templar yet. Almost. Classic is holding off. And now moves in. Yeah, now he does blink in. Dives on the CC. Does lift. But now the workers. Yeah, the workers are still exposed. Still critical damage here. 10 SCVs going down. It's still too much. It's still too much, man. Oh, fuck. The Novas keep connecting. It doesn't help. Now even going back into Colossus, which makes sense, right? There's no more Vikings. Well, we're down to 3. Soon to be down to 0. Oof. Yeah, One Viking remaining. And again, Clem now down to 31 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. Being knocked down to just over 1 base economy. And Class has been chilling back at home, by the way. Just been chilling. Links in, takes on two more Liberators. Trading with the army. We coming from behind as well, getting to more CVs. There's nothing left in over. No. And again, Clem, he has nothing left. At this point, he has nothing left. Losing 29 workers. Oh. And is Clem going to make Classic kill everything? I mean, Clem, he was BMing earlier in the last game when he was mule hammering, or mana muling, I should say. So, Clem, hands off the keyboard. He left the room. Este Clem. SMH my head. I mean, thankfully he doesn't lift his... It could have been worse, right? He could be lifting his buildings. So, eventually, Classic will kill everything. Classic killing his own units in the face of Clem. See, that's the payback for Clem nuking his own ghosts, if you remember. The payback, Bappy. True, true. Este Clem gets what he deserves. Alright, how many buildings do we have left? 6 depots. Down to 4. Down to 3. Down to 2. GG. No shot. GG gets called, and Classic will claim the series 2-1. He will advance on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Classic, he will claim the series. Again, an intense back and forth one all the way to the ace match. I feel like we saw some of the extreme ends here of TvP. Game number 2, if you remember, we saw that Clem was able to snowball out of control and build up into a superior economy, into a superior army, and dominate on Winter Madness, with some BM in Winter Madness as well. Here in game 3, though, we saw that Classic, what can happen if the Protoss player is able to gain map control. If they're able to gain map control and take over the entire map as well. I will say that there was a bit of a back and forth here as well initially when it comes to Clem fighting for map control and getting some economic damage done. I'm referring to the initial Marine Widowmine drop, which was doing a lot of damage. It was definitely a good start there for Clem, but at a certain point he did end up being forced back home, and Classic was able to just keep him back, right? Pin him back home, pin him down, and just mass expand behind us. Clem had a very hard time getting across the map. We didn't see any attempted drop play or any kind of move outs. Instead, he was trying to turtle up and build up his army, which, to be fair, is supposed to be easier on this map, but we mentioned it, where Clem was tunnel visioning. He was tunnel visioning. He had a comparable army supply, but he had everything fixated in one location, and run-bys and counterattacks were catching him off guard. And he had the tools to defend. Like, Clem, he had the tools to defend, but he was just tunnel visioning a little bit too much. He was torn apart, started losing SCVs, and then things got out of hand. They slowly just, the damage like accumulated over time, got out of hand, and then GG well played. We got to the point where Clem was now falling down in supply, he was falling behind in economy, and Classic was finding more and more damage. GG well played. With that, so we are now getting into our semifinals. Let's go. Gonna be getting into our semis.